TNTMTheShow presents Comicast 297 Part 2 with your host, Pablo Gunner, the one of many, is what I hear out there. That's what Mason usually has told me, at least, that there's a lot of Pablo Gunners out there, other Pablo Gunners, but I'm the only one like me, I think. So anyways, I am Talk Nerd of Me. We are Talk Nerd of Me. I mean, there's no we, but you know what I mean. Like all of us who are part of Talk Nerd of Me, but I'm part of Talk Nerd of Me. I am Talk Nerd of Me. Like Mason usually says, I'm the face. I'm the face. So anyways, I'm here to review the comics that we missed last week from August 2nd, because there was quite a few books, and I meant to do this a lot sooner, and not just in the day, but also in the week. Like I wanted to do this earlier in the week. I wasn't planning to do a video, but here we are on Saturday, the usual day and time around. I know it's late, but my wife was literally passed out on top of me, as she does. So anyways, that is why it's already almost 7 and I'm just doing this. And I was busy all week with training, so I didn't have time to read comics. But I finally got some on my weekend. So here I am, and I will have tomorrow's books. I'm going to record Sunday for this week's books. Yes, I will get them, as many of them as I can, done. I'll do whatever I can do. So yeah, anyways, so that's what I'm going to be doing. If you're new or you don't know, whatever, we have a grade scale here at Talk Nerdy to Me. And for comics, it's buy, skim, pass. Then we have variations. We have strong buy, we have weak buy, strong skim, weak skim. Then for our best book of the week, we call it the back and bag of the week. Put it in that nice sleeve in the back and bagging. And as runner-up as well. Now, I announced what it was on the previous Comicast, but I also said, like, this is what I had, this is what it is now, based off of what I've read. So it's very likely to change now that I've read all the books. So be prepared for that. Now, I'm not going to go over all the books, just the ones that we missed. So, spoiler alert, there will be spoilers, minor spoilers at least. I'll try not to spoil too much, except for probably when I cover the back and bag of the week and the runner-up. Those I will go more in depth as to why they are my, my number 1 and my number 2 book of last week. So, but I felt it was very important. And I also have a theme this week. So if anybody watches it or listens to it, here's what I have this week. Tell me if you know what it is, tell me. I only have one book, one digital code to give away this week, so I'll hold it. But if you guess it, I'll give it to that one person. I'll give it to that one person. So this is the theme for this week. Be very specific as possible. Here it is. So, if you know what that theme is, that tone, which goes off after 1 minute, because if it's just me reviewing these books, so it's going to be a 1 minute timer, 2 minutes if there's 2 of us, but obviously it's just me. So, 1 minute, and that's it. So, I think that's it as far as I know. Tomorrow I'll cover other things, but for this I just want to do a quick whatever. So, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, number 73. It's $3.99, published by IDW. Story is Kevin Eastman, Bobby Curnow, and Tom Waltz. Script is Tom Waltz. Art, Corey Smith. Colors, Rhonda Pattison. So there's actually a little intro that talks about like their dealings with, the Dimension X and Krang and stuff. And so this one, they're on planet Neutrino, and it's actually Krang, and he's in prison, and he meets with this assassin that wants him to take out all the witnesses to any of his things so that no one has any evidence, and they shut everything down and kill everybody that's involved. So solid plan. Well, they kind of know about this. Like, they know that this trial is coming up, so they're like, hey, we need to get all these witnesses together, the neutrinos do. So they go to the Turtles, and they're like, all right, cool, we need to get out of here anyways because the Pantheon's probably going to come after us. We have all these enemies, so we need some time away. So let's do that. So they go, and then Leatherhead's there, and they're like, hey, F Leatherhead, he's not trustable. And they're like, well, he's willing to go against them. So yeah, and it's just great. Like this princess, she's like all over Mikey, and they have like a ceremony like Star Wars. They even mention it. Like, it's great. And then this guy that is the main like lawyer or whatever, he gets attacked by this assassin. They attack him. He gets away. Now the hunt is on. So they're both now going after this list. The turtles to protect, and then the not neutrinos, but this assassin to kill them. So yeah, and so I specifically covered this one first because I actually went to Dimension X, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Dimension X #1, and they're like, hey, read 73 first. Okay, thank you for that. A lot of comics don't do that, so thank you. So I did that, read this one first. I love it. It's phenomenal. It was great, hilarious, magnificent, strong by, also a contender, okay? Also a contender. I'm going to try to be a little harsher on the contenders now. That's another thing that I throw out there. I'm going to be a little harsher on the contenders, but this is most definitely a contender because there's nothing wrong with it. Like, nothing at all. I couldn't find any problems with it. So, next. It is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Dimension X #1. This is also $3.99. This one's story is Paula Lore, art Pablo Tunica, maybe. Yeah, and that's it. So this one, the art is, there's certain things that are similar to the previous issue, but not. Like, these turtles look like the turtles from like the third movie. So where it's like, it's not, it doesn't look as good. Like, it's a little weird. I don't know what it was, but like, it almost seemed like the turtles, like the original Turtles movies, they were progressively getting worse, like the way they looked. And so that's kind of how they look here. And but anyways, they're going to this one, and it's this glob, and it's this planet that's run by emotions, and the glob is run by emotions, like the changed color by emotions. And so they're like, hey, we're here to save you. And they're like, no. This glob is like, I don't want to be involved. And then the assassin shows up and is like, oh yeah, you shouldn't trust these people. Same way you shouldn't trust me. And then he ends up like earning this glob's trust at the exact moment where it's like they're about to take him out. But then they figure out like how this emotion reacts, how this planet reacts to your emotions. So, and as teenagers are really strong with their emotions, they're able to get the edge and stuff, and things seem to. It seems like, hey, they may have won round 1, perchance. So yeah, this one, the art bugged me a little bit because it was so different from the other art, but I also kind of liked it because it looked like the movie style, but I don't know, it was weird because like they don't look like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in this one. They look more like adult Ninja Turtles, so that kind of bugs me, like the bigger sized ones. I know it's more based off of their attitude and their reactions and everything like that. But anyways, yeah, so I enjoyed it. I will still give it a strong buy, but there's no way I can give it a contender because of the fact that there's still, like I said, a little iffy. But writing-wise and story-wise, everything was phenomenal. Everything was done really well. I really liked it. It was just that thing that slightly irked me, okay? So, yeah. Moving on to Cyborg #15. It's $3.99. This one used to have a digital comic, but Lord Vader earned it by answering the theme, I think, from last week. So, anyways, here's the digital. Here's the creative team. John Semper Jr. is the writer. Cliff Richards and Will Conrad do artwork. Ivan Nunez is the colorist. So I like these ones because because they come out monthly, you kind of forget what happened, but the way that each one is written, you can jump into it, and it's like it's narrated by Cyborg. It starts, and then he goes, it's a flashback, and they're like, this is how everything, this is what happened earlier. And so they show all this stuff, like him as his alternate, universe mom, and what happened to that universe, how it became all taken over by robots and stuff, where all the humans got turned into robots. They also talk to Beast Boy and stuff, how he's like the general or commander or whatever and stuff, and he's fighting this robot, and then he has another vision or yeah, they catch up with it, and he has like another vision and stuff. But they were able to bring him inside, and it's great because like there's this kid that's there, and they're like, oh, he's useless, he's gonna get killed, but he's probably safer with us. And he ends up like, while the metal men are attacking them, he's messing around with their computer and reprograms them. It was really cool. I know I'm spoiling it, I'm sorry, but it's really awesome. And but awesome, crazy cliffhanger ending. You don't know what's gonna happen to this guy, but it's gonna be really interesting because it looks like it's gonna be like him versus himself, you know, like a Nega version or something, or just dark version. I don't know, but yeah. So it was phenomenal. The art was solid. You know, everything was really well done in this. I didn't like, they made it a little obvious like what was going to happen because of the way that it was written, but it was still done well. I liked it. It's a strong buy, not quite a contender. There's something that just something like not quite that level, you know. Next, it is Robotech #1. This is $3.99. It's Titan Comics published it. We have script is Brian Wood, art Marco Turini, colors Marcolesco. And it's cool. They have this nice little intro to intro you to the characters and stuff like that. I'll be honest, I never really got into Robotech. I tried to get into Robotech like recently. Like, I love the style of it. I love the idea of it. It's really cool. But I tried to get into it. Like, I think it was on Netflix or something, or it was some Hulu. I tried to watch it and I was like, I can't stand this. Like, this really bugs me. But I watched some of it, and so this is essentially like a retelling of the show, pretty much is what's going on here. And like, not all of it I remember because it's been a while since I've seen it, but it was really cool because, like, at first, I'll be honest, like, I really didn't care. This kid shows up in this weird spacecraft, and they're like, hey, this is military airspace, you can't be here. And he's like, whatever, I'm the brother of this guy. And then he's like, get this guy out of here, you know, put him in the holding cell and stuff, his own brother. And then these machines attack, and so they go into like full fighting mode and stuff. And then the kid gets away and jumps into like their prototype machine, which is the Robotech and stuff. And he saves this girl that's there and stuff. So I was like, as soon as like crap hit the fan, I was like, I'm in it. I'm down for this. This is cool. Like, that's what I love that's what I love about comics, is that like, so sometimes it can capture it, sometimes it can capture things better, you know. And like that's the thing, is like, when I watched it, I couldn't get into it. It was really cheesy, and it just really irked me, and I just couldn't stand it. This worked. Like, it looks dark, not too dark, it's still colorful, but it's gritty. Like, it's more, I don't know, but it really captures it though, while also improving upon it, I think. I mean, obviously you can't do what it did back in the day, but you know, it looks superb. I really like it a lot. I'm gonna keep reading it because I want to get into this. You know, I want to keep checking this out. So I'm definitely want to check out and review the next one. So yeah, I will say, because it took a while to get me into it, not quite a contender, but it is still a strong buy, just because it was like, it was intense. You know, once crap hit the fan, like, everyone was there, and it was, you know. But at first I was like, I don't really care at first. And then boom, yeah, it excelled it. So anyways, and next, this book didn't even come out last week. I think I missed it, but I don't care, because this is, I do whatever I want. So it's Heathen #3, $3.99, published by Vault. And it's Natasha Alterici, does writing and art. So yeah, and then Rachel Deering does letters. So this one, you just have, you have the Brynhilda, I think, or whatever, and she's like, oh yeah, I give up and stuff, and the horse is like, no, you go get her. She's like, no, it's useless. She's like, all right, fine, I'll go get her myself. And then it switches to, they're up in Asgard, and you have not Hera, gosh, what is her name? You know, the mother of Thor. Frasier, I think. And so she's showing around. She's showing this warrior girl around and stuff. And she is straight up topless. Like, so there's nudity, just to be warned. But you kind of like, it's one of those things. You just kind of get numb to it, sort of, and you just focus on the story and what's going on. And she tells this story of Sigurd, this guy that was in love with her before, how there's been other warriors that freed the Valkyrie, that Valkyrie leader girl and stuff, but something happened where they had to save him and he turned into a god, and it has to be a mortal man that she falls in love with, or immortal, not a mortal man and stuff. And so it's just great, like the resolve of this girl and stuff, and they're both essentially trying to go save each other. It's really cool, it's really sweet, it's really nice. And then she gets like this awesome helm at the end. It's freaking sweet. So yeah, I'm totally jacked off for this. I'm going to keep reading it. I need to add it to my list at Age of Comics. It's going to be a super good time. I'm loving it so far. It is mostly like, it's not black and white, but it's mostly like gray tones, brown tones. You know, it almost it's kind of plain, but makes things stand out, you know, the color even more because of it. So this one, superb. I'm loving it. This is another one, I can't really see anything wrong with it. So I can't see why it would not be a contender, as well as a strong buy, of course. Next, it's last book, I think, is Avengers number 10. And writer is Mark Waid, artist Mike Del Mundo, and color artist Mike Del Mundo with Marco Di Alfonso. This is a tie-in to the crap that's going on, the Hydra Empire thing, Secret Empire, whatever. That's a tie-in. But I was like, I love this creative team. I actually skimmed it first and was like, I love Mark Waid, love Mike Del Mundo. So I was like, I skimmed it and I was like, I like the way it looks. It seems interesting. I'll check it out. And so it's kind of like what it was before, though, which is like with Norman Osborn, where he had his Dark Avengers. It's like that, but it's like Hydra Avengers instead. It's weird. You have Vision and you have Scarlet Witch, and they're making out. And then you have Doc Ock, which actually looks more like Spider-Man, but he has the tentacles of Doc Ock. And then Deadpool's there, and he's annoying everybody in the ship, in the plane. And then Thor Odinson is there, and then you're like, why is Thor Odinson there? Oh, because he has an allegiance to Captain America. He's loyal to him. Taskmaster is there, and then like an evil Ant-Man that they call Black Ant. I don't even know who it is. So yeah, and then they explain like why Vision is there, why Scarlet Witch is there, as you know, and Thor and everything like that. And they're like, oh yeah, we need to. Someone's attacking this, one of the stations that is keeping the shield around the planet safe. So we need to go stop them. And so it's these crazy monsters which look a lot like the Krang monsters. So I don't know if it's Krang that's attacking this version, which might turn out that Krang is kind of like a good guy, sort of. And you see it, and they actually do fight together pretty well. They split into teams, but they join up. You know, they do the assembling thing, and it's really cool. I like these characters quite a bit. You know, it's cool to see like the evil side every once in a while. So it's pretty cool. I like it, and it's really interesting. So yeah, I don't know. There was something, though. I want to say there was something that was like slightly off about it, but I don't really know what it was. So I'll give it a strong buy, but I won't give it a contender. And the digital code will go to that person who answered the theme correctly. So that's it. I did also read the Green Lanterns 28, which, yeah, strong buy. Also contender. Really amazing, awesome looking art. And, you know, just listen to last week's, what Jonathan JD said is exactly what goes with. Same thing with Green Arrow. Strong buy, superb. I will say, though, I disagree with him on the Nightwing because I love Dick. So it's always a strong buy for me. And then Batman. Batman, strong buy contender, as well as Superman, strong buy and contender. So for my like redacted or reconstructed runner-ups and back and bag of the week, I'm gonna have to go with I'm gonna have to go with Batman as my runner-up, and here's my reason why. Because okay, it's talking, and it's a flashback. It's talking about like how this is kind of like it's kind of like year 2 or something like that of Batman. So that's why he's kind of amateur hour. So that's why this war is going on. He doesn't really know how to stop it. Him and Gordon, are together. Gordon still has the red whiskers instead of the gray. But it was cool, and just like it's Kim telling the story to Selena Kyle, but she's also in it, and it's really great. Then you have Deadpool, not Deadpool, Deathstroke and Deadshot, and how they're like going up against each other. They resulted in all kinds of death, and how Batman finally caught up with them and took them both out, and he just like yells out, and like that moment was so powerful to me that I was like, oh, I love that. Like, that's the thing, is Batman's not an emotional guy. That's why, like, when you have him do that, like, emote, it's so powerful, like he just screams out, like when he defeats them, like in this, it's not even, the war's not even over, but he's relieved that he stopped those two from like killing, or that resulted in them killing all these people. It was superb. So yeah, and it looks absolutely stunning. So yeah. Now, but JD was right. It has to be Superman 28 just because it's emotional. It's literally one of those things that gets you choked up. This is the kind of comic that makes me want to go, man, I want to go back into the military. Like it evokes that much emotion and patriotism, and just, it also brought up an old memory of mine that I had back in the day of where I used to be really into World War II novels. In high school, I used to be and in middle school, I used to be really into World War II novels. It was crazy because you had these kids, these people, they were usually about, it was essentially kids, people that are in their teen years, and they're fighting against, like they say, their neighbors, their brothers, people they know. And they're just like their will to survive and live and stuff like that, to fight for others' freedom, like legitimately. Like, it's just so inspiring. And that's why it deserves to be back in bag of the week, hands down. So yeah, there you have it. And that's it. Like I said, tomorrow I'll cover August 9th's books. So hope you enjoyed this little quickie here, and everything like that. So das vidanya, stay nerdy, planet Earth, and keep your ojos hungry for comics.